Welcome back to JLC TV, the show where we take our £15 million distribution business and build it into a £100 million distribution business. We're 60 episodes in and it might take another 600 to get there, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. Yeah, guys, back to business yesterday. Obviously, we started the week very strong. We did 202 orders, I think it was. It was 201 orders. No, you know what? It's going to be more than 202 orders because I only get told about the orders that are £1,000 or more. So when we closed the day, it was at 201, and then we had £4,000 coming for Jack, but that wouldn't have been the only order. That's me being silly. But anyway, so plus 200 orders. And when I spoke and did the update on the last episode, on episode 58, you know that we did 36 grand, but then like 5 minutes later, I was in a taxi and another £4,000 came through. So absolutely smashed it. Those who watch the show know that for the UK to win breakfast, they have to do 30,000. And we did 40,000 in the end. So yeah, those guys are fed. Europe was a little bit off, but it was solid. And there's some big quotes. So I'm expecting a very big day today. In terms of like what's going on, we got Jules return to the office tomorrow. He's been off for like 3 weeks. That's gonna be good. Get him back to his numbers. He needs to start getting some stuff in. Then we have Laura, who's actually speaking to some OEMs, which is really, really cool. Laura's taking on more responsibility and it's impressive what's going on. And I think that you can tell she's, her head's in the game, very, very bright. Super company woman, you know, like she has been there. Our first member of staff we employed out in Holland, bright as a button, and she is on this German case. I said to Laura, I said, just get it sorted. It's on you. And I think she appreciates responsibility. And I think she'll do a better job than me. So it's win-win. I'm going over in a second. It's early still. I've just done the updates into the group. Told everyone the targets for breakfast today, told them what we needed. Like I said, we had a big day yesterday. It was a bit of a slow week last week because of the bank holidays and stuff. But now, with the orders up, the sun's down, I think it's very, very likely that we're going to have a big week. So I want everyone ready. And then obviously we get into our busy season, which is June, July, August. So whatever happens, we're priming for a big month and we're priming for the months that precede this. So there is no reason to not have your foot fully on the gas. So I'm making sure that everyone is like motivated, you know? And then, yeah, I'm going over to a hotel, the other side of the island on the place that's like called Jumeirah Island. It's not an island. God, what am I saying? It's the other side of the city, Jumeirah. And I'm meeting my mate Gaz, who I'd known from when I was like a teenager. We used to ride around on like our scooters and stuff, micro scooters. And then he's actually been on The Apprentice. He nearly won The Apprentice. Very, very smart guy. And he has a business that is like revitalizes you after you've had like a hangover or whatever. And it's doing really, really well. And he's just opened up an office. So it's gonna be really, really cool hanging out with him and catching up and hearing about that. I mean, one of the best things for a business owner is to speak to other business owners because everyone has different perspectives. You're gonna learn. And like life's hard, business is hard, and it's super competitive. So anytime you can get information from someone else, it's like, oh, I've had that situation in this. Oh, and this worked for me in this. And maybe I can give him some things and he can give me some things and hang out with your friends and you learn some stuff. So my next plan is to then go to the gym. Super important, especially when things are stressful. And do you know what? Like I was actually saying to the guys yesterday, like stress has never been like it is trying to have your eyes all over everything, you know? Trying to run Europe, trying to run UK, oversee JLC TV, all of that. I can tell you this, guys. It can look fun to run a business, but sometimes it feels like you're drowning in responsibility. You can't even breathe, you know? 10 at night, and you've got to be working. It's mad. You have to really, really love it. I tell you what, like most people who think they want to do business, they would not want to do business. There's obviously great things about business when it's going well, but even when it's going well, the pressure, it can get a lot, I'll tell you that. What a glorious day. It's starting to get almost too hot now in Dubai, like 39. I think we're on the cusp of where like people are going to be leaving for the summer, but we're only here for another 4 or 5 days. Obviously, I've got Jeffrey, Ricky, and Barry coming out on Wednesday, which obviously Jeffrey's from the European office, Barry's ops in UK, and Ricky runs sales UK. So it's just some of the people, because, you know, ops and sales typically have friction. And then you double that down by them working from overseas. Like, yeah, there is some value in getting those people together from time to time to remind them that they're family and that it's important for the bigger picture to put aside your differences. Because ultimately, when it comes to business, and this is the thing we forget, you keep inside your own head and you might have an argument. This ops guy might have an argument with this ops guy over here, or this sales guy might, but you all want the same thing. And I don't mean it like everyone wants the same thing in every company, because you get very corporate companies and not everyone does want the same thing because people are trying to snake other people. No, not in all. I'm just saying that does happen. You know, we do love each other and we're brothers and sisters. Like it's a very big business. So sorry, it's a family business. It really is a family business and everyone loves each other. But what happens is sometimes that can get lost on people, especially when they've got their own stresses, you're far away, it's at the end of the phone, it gets a bit impersonal, or even worse, it's on Teams. You should always pick up the phone, anyone listens to this from JLC, make sure you keep it personal. Team bonding. And then we'll probably go out to the desert again, get on the sand dunes. I know Jeffrey, Ricky, and Barry were looking forward to doing that. And yeah, I look forward to seeing them. You know, sometimes one of my stresses can be is like when things aren't all smooth and getting on, because yeah, numbers are great, but if things aren't going, and if people aren't really tight knit, then there's another thing that I just think it needs to get sorted. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a super valuable thing. And like I said to you guys before, I want to get people together probably every quarter now to improve, build. And it's not just about diplomacy. It's also because the best ideas come out, always the best ideas come out when we're just sat around chatting, because we're all friends. So we chat without like expectation of each other, and you can just be sat around on a sofa or whatever, and then go, oh, hang on, what was that? You just come up with these great ideas. Watch this space. After these episodes this week, we're going to have some crazy ideas next week. So make sure you subscribe and follow the channel. So I'm going to head down to the gym now, and hopefully it'll be time for Owen and Beak to wake up then. And we head over to Jumeirah Beach, and we're chilling out at a pool over there today, which would be very, very nice. But yeah, I'll tell you what, we have some great business connections out here. So when the time is right, Dubai is going to be the place for the future. My move, I think, by the end of the year, I'm going to have a satellite office here, which would just be maybe a couple of desks in a small office, with the intention that we could work from here remotely, ready for when we come to get people. So like, I want to have an office by the end of the year. And the reason the office by the end of the year, no one will be manning it full time. It's a very small expense. I want to get a small office just because it's going to ensure against anything that could happen in the world. Because this is just, yeah, it's a safe bet. Anything that happens in the world, everyone is always diplomatic with Dubai. So it makes sense for a company that works with many different countries. For me, I view Dubai as almost like a bit Switzerland of the East. You know, obviously in situations where we've had madness in the past, Switzerland has always remained diplomatic and out of it. And I think it would be very wise for us to have an office here, so that if there was any other problems ever, all the goods just come here. So yeah, life is good. We are taking the smart moves.
So when order volumes are low, and there's not a lot of orders getting processed through the warehouse, what does the warehouse do otherwise?
Usually when we're really busy, so when we were in March, we were doing 190 a day, it's all hands to the pump. So even people that are kind of the side of the day-to-day operation, like Arthur, who's our stock controller, he's like looking at all the processes, making sure stock level's right. He's actually involved in like the picking and packing because we're so busy. And it's the same with some of the managers as well. So when those volumes like dip back down, so we're like on 100, averaging 163 a day at the moment for May, then that gives us a chance to actually sort of analyse and see where we can kind of improve from the previous months and kind of like share out the workload a little bit. So for example, in March, we found that we were relying on Arthur quite a lot when we were super busy. So one of the initiatives we've is we've given Chris to Arthur now to actually take some of the burden off him. Any like new products that come into the warehouse, instead of Arthur taking on that responsibility, Chris will do that. And we're kind of like divvying up some of those bigger, wider responsibilities, say the likes of like just Arthur and Arlene, a lot was like going through them. We're actually sort of taking that off them and sort of spreading it out a little bit. So when it's a little bit quieter, it allows us to kind of look and see where we can improve, and then obviously give the people those time to like do the training plans and stuff. Because when like the volume's at 190 and it's all hands to the pump and it's all like crazy, you don't really have the time to sort of have somebody sat next to you and say, right, this is your training plan, this is what you do. Yeah, when it's quiet, like in terms of the day to day, it gives us a really good opportunity to really work on our training plans for people and like identify where we can improve. So, and yeah, that also ties in with Rick. So obviously I have a meeting once a month with Ricky, obviously from sales. Okay. We go over, I go over anything I need from like sales that maybe we might not be getting any kind of support with anything. And it's same with the operation as well. If he thinks something's kind of lacking from his point of view, he kind of acts as a spokesperson for everybody upstairs.
I didn't know
that. So we then have a meeting together and we just discuss it. So yeah, we had our monthly meeting yesterday, and that was all positive in the main. There's always something to work on. So yeah, we've got a few things to kind of go and take away. Yeah, so the fact that we've got 19 people in the operation at the moment, and that is a fairly small team. So when we've got say 2 on holiday, we've got the likes of obviously Barry's going away to Dubai, and then you throw in a sort of couple of sickness on top of that. That's like almost like 25%. Again, this is another reason why we like to train people in multiple areas, because one, it obviously gives them a greater knowledge and understanding of each other's role. Yeah. But then also it prepares us for the times where we are going to be down a little bit and it doesn't catch us out. We've got people that are sort of upskilled, and the pain of having say 3 or 4 people off doesn't affect us too badly. Try and be like proactive where we can. And then also in times like now as well, where it's like a little bit quieter, like obviously May historically last year was quiet. We have to try and be proactive where we can in the operation, but at the same time we have to be reactive to the lower volumes and make sure we're not like, overspending where we can as well. Because I think when you have like a month like March and there's a lot of overtime in there to account for all the high order volume, people kind of get used to like, oh, I'm
working more, I'm getting
more
X
hours coming in early. And then when the volumes dip off, you've got to be careful that people don't just continue to do a lower work rate, just spread out over the hours. So got to make sure when it is quiet as well, like at the moment currently, that we are reactive and, well, me mainly pulling overtime back and making sure we're not spending anything that's not necessary really, and we're just keeping it to the bare minimum. And then obviously when the volumes do come back, we get big orders in, then we can obviously use that and apply it accordingly.
Spending your budget reasonably and
well, it's not. I don't really have a budget as such like that, but tell that to David, the finance director. He'll be on my case if we're not.
And now for the end of days. And in Europe, we processed 7 orders with a turnover of €1,037. And in the UK, we processed 181 orders with a turnover of £33,327. Not enough for breakfast either side of the camp, but tomorrow's another day, and I look forward to seeing the results. Thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like button and that subscribe button with notifications turned on so you don't miss an episode. If there is anything you want to see more about the business or any questions you'd like to ask, comment it down below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.